guys, welcome to the show.
Hi. Whoa.
Luna's here also. She's being
she's
extra.
helping. We can put paint on her nose and then she can lick the whatever.
All right, well, this is episode like 5 so far, and I can't believe that we have made it this long with Kevin.
And me either.
I know, it's a miracle. So we are on episode 5 of Kevin Paints Stuff.
Now this has been a crazy day.
Just today?
Well,
or just like the 5 hours that you've been working on this?
You know, it just dawned on me. This is Friday.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's been a crazy week.
It has.
Okay.
That is a fact.
Well.
So anyways, I think we're going to work on some sky today. Maybe fiddle with the water a little bit more. Maybe some mountains.
We're going to fiddle with everything a little bit more. I want to get it done and see if I can't be done with this because it's hard to keep going.
It's hard to keep going. Ooh.
Yeah.
We're doing something fun with a piece of leather today.
Well,
he's got a leather wedge in his hand.
I cut it off of this little happy piece of leather right here. Just took my little utility knife and just cut that little piece off of there. Is this everything right here?
Everything is right there. If you could just be in somewhere above your picture.
I will try.
Okay, thanks.
So I don't really know what I'm exactly doing here, but we're gonna take this little piece of leather and
he's gonna put some snow on his mountains.
well, I don't know if it's snow as much as it is just mountain marks.
Mountain marks. I like it. We all need some mountain marks in our life.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Don't sound so happy, Kevin.
Well, sorry, I gotta shift gears mentally, which is a lot more difficult than it used to be.
Is it?
Yes.
Isn't that supposed to have a paintbrush in there somewhere?
Pardon?
Don't these have little paintbrushes?
Some of them do.
That black one does not.
Yeah,
Interesting.
They don't all do.
That's weird. Hello to you, helpful hero.
Let's see.
I know, no Dean on YouTube? What is happening? He's been here the whole time.
There's people watching. They're not talking.
So anyway, I decided to put a little paint on the edge of this leather and see if that helped any. Well, it kind of does. Not snow really, it's just
light.
It's just additional stuff.
So why did you decide that you wanted to use the piece of leather instead of a...
That's kind of what I...
And do you like using the leather better than this little scrapey dude? Is it harder to use or easier to use?
The scrapey dude works great on
canvas.
Canvas, yeah. Thank you. I need somebody to finish my sentences today.
I'm here for you.
That's scary.
Sorry.
But hey, it's okay.
Kevin, what got you into painting, and was it just Bob Ross, or have you always enjoyed a little painting?
You know, I always wanted to be able to paint. I just thought it would be neat. And leatherwork was kind of a way into that.
Did you do much painting before leather?
No.
No.
No, I never did any.
You did a lot of music before leather.
I did some music. You know, my biggest thing was when I was in school, I learned to color.
Yeah.
Crayons, that kind of thing. I could do that.
Uh-huh.
But that was about kind of it. And
I don't know if they still do that, but I did that in school too.
My sister, younger sister, she was growing up, all she ever did was draw and paint. That's all she did. Just standing around, supper table, didn't matter, just draw and paint. That was it. And, you know, of course, over years, she became a very well-known artist.
You don't say.
Yeah. And she just does, she's like the primary artist for the Audubon Society.
I love birds.
Well, so does she. And that's what she does, is look at birds and draw birds and
Really?
paint birds. Yeah, if you go,
Is she still a Hopkins, or is she moved on from that?
she's a Hokinson.
A Hokinson. Well, she didn't move far.
And if you, okay, that's enough. If you Google
Yeah. That's
Sandra Hokinson
Sandra Hokinson.
art, Sandra Hokinson, there's all kinds of stuff. She's got galleries and she produces all kinds of bird stuff. She's a happy little bird person.
I
Yeah.
think I found the wrong Hopkins.
Well, she is just extremely talented. I'll say, don't ever let her know I said that.
Yeah, this isn't. We'll make sure to send her a clip.
Okay, now here we go. We got to do.
Hello, Erica from down in Dallas.
I need to get some.
Yep, Larry. Kevin's got his tea, and I've got my coffee. Kevin doesn't do coffee.
Oh, gag, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Really seal it extremely well.
Okay, because you don't want to smudge all your paint, right?
Well,
Or
yeah,
just
it's not like it smudges exactly, but I guess that's probably a good way to put it. But it sure changes it. It just changes it a lot.
Okay, it's fine. Always computer's acting weird. Just
Okay.
heads up. Stream is like disconnecting.
okay. We might have some technical issues, everybody, but hopefully everything will be fine.
Looks like it went back to
Okay.
I've got technical issues, I can tell you.
Yeah, your whole life is a technical issue.
Yes, it is.
We really didn't do the older generations any favors with technology. In fact, I think we made life rather difficult for you guys.
You did. Well, I'm having a hard time adjusting to getting my paint right today. Anyway, we need more.
Need more paint
Apparently,
or more adjusting?
I need. My mental attitude needs to
You need that switch to flip for yourself?
sort of like that. Yeah. I think I'm gonna. Oh well. Okay, blue. I need blue.
Are you looking at your own misty mountains over there? I think you are, aren't you?
Well, I'd like some blue. Oh, there's some. There's a happy little glop. Oh, you brought that in.
I did. Does that help?
Maybe. Quite possibly. It helps me remember just what it was I was doing.
There we go. That shouldn't be in your way.
Over
That should be
all
perfect for us.
those years.
All right. We got Kevin a canvas in the corner. Stryker looked up your sister, and she does make some very nice paintings.
I have it pulled up over here.
Yeah,
Ah.
she's.
All right. Well, next time you go home, you gotta figure out a way to bring me back
Well,
a paint.
she actually charges money.
I know. Well, you're her brother, though, doesn't that?
Yeah, it counts.
you
for
pretend
me,
like you
but
like a
doesn't
bird?
Count for you.
Price varies from
Dang.
$50 to $325.
13 years of my life. Nothing.
Really nice.
Not gonna get nothing for it. I'll have to look her up. There was for a while in Wonders of Wildlife, they had a Audubon little exhibit with some of the original. I don't think it was your sister, but the original. Wasn't that his name, Audubon? Was there a dude? that like did some of the like original artwork, and maybe that was just his name.
I don't know.
I'll
Could've
have to look that up. But it was closed. We went.
James Audubon.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so that's where the whole thing comes from.
He's got some nice art.
It's beautiful. But they had an exhibit of some of his work at the Wonders of Wildlife, the taxidermy portion.
He old. He was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
1785 to 18.
Charges Kevin double, does she?
Probably.
Now,
No,
you
she-
are the oldest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, your younger siblings probably are still paying you back for the shenanigans you made them go through.
Yeah, well, I can't argue with that.
We've heard the stories about your brother.
They kind of owe me, or I mean, I owe them.
Is it too
Man,
far
it
away?
is so hard to do fogified stuff with acrylic paint. It just is traumatic.
Traumatic.
Yes. But it's okay.
Stryker particularly appreciates the Sand Hill crane. Sand Hills crane. Singular sand, plural hills.
Well, I couldn't tell you. She's given me some really, really nice pictures of birds over the years, and I really, really like them quite a lot.
Birds are so beautiful.
Yeah, and they're actually kind of hard to,
They're like rocks.
yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah, and then in the right light, they become whole new and different things.
And in addition, they chirp.
They do that.
How can you go wrong with chirping?
I'll tell you the first
Correct.
picture that I ever took that made me be like, oh, I want to be a photographer was of a hummingbird. Caught it at a high frame rate so you could see its little wings and everything. I was like, this
That's
is
amazing. Yeah.
Well, okay. I don't know if I wanted any of that color anyway.
Is it gloppy?
It's gloppy.
We could put some water in it. Luna, come on. Gloopy gloppy.
Hmm. Loons, I appreciate your nose and all, but
You're not helping. Oh, I used the spray bottle. I was like, I have a spray bottle somewhere. Nice. Yeah, that's good.
my wife's grandma. You gotta kind of like duck your head and do this on her back porch because she loves hummingbirds and they're just everywhere.
It's a Rorik!
my gosh,
Hi, Rorik!
that was enough to wake you up.
Oop.
What are you doing?
Hi there!
What's up, Liz?
How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Oh my goodness, she's getting so big.
I'm telling you.
You look like a whole little adult. Hi, sweetie.
Hey, Kevin.
Hi, Rorik.
How you,
I
sir?
got Kevin painting.
Simply lovely, and more or less, kind of, you know.
No.
I'm glad Tony's not here because I know he's really been on.
Yeah, Tony would have
Because it don't fit Dawn, so I was like, well, I know it'll fit Liz, so.
got myself a Herman Oak jacket, y'all. Yeah. I don't know if you can see me, but this is, they make good gear. Kevin, where's my good gear?
You're wearing it.
Right.
Oh, goodness. Looks like your arm's all healed up.
Well, it's
We getting there?
getting there.
Did you get to talk to Chris about his arm?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh, I know.
So they got me. They said May 22nd is when I'm supposed to go back to work.
Oh, yeah.
They
What'd you
said
do?
I had shoulder
Rotator cuff?
replacement.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. And my physical therapist says, yeah, that's not happening.
Oh, not even,
July 4th is what he's talking about.
holy moly.
But I'm still going into work, just like
Light duty.
2 days or not even really. Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of telling people, hey, you know, just
not doing
pinpoint
anything,
stuff.
huh?
Right, just paperwork type stuff. So.
I got a lot of people like that.
So
Oh, cool.
yeah.
You look good.
Well, thank you.
You look good. Look at you.
I know, right? She's getting all grown up on us.
I know. Are you in your
Trying to be.
teens already?
15.
Shoo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So been trying to teach her how to drive. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm doing good.
I'm,
You probably have to adjust the seat a lot when you get in.
oh. Yeah. About that.
Rourke is like, I don't fit in my car anymore
Right.
after you drive.
So,
Uh-huh. Yeah, all the way
and
up.
you can see back of the seat.
There's a couple of them in there that are a little thin, so I put 18 of them, but 15.
Okay. Yeah. She was so thrilled, right? So now you can see it better. Where
Uh-huh.
I mean, I wouldn't even be able to fit my head in that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You wouldn't be able to get in there.
No.
You'll be back when
And
you get
then
out.
that's where when she found out I was taking pictures of her.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Well, how exciting. All right.
Oh, you can carry
Are
it.
you going to be here for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to be doing this.
Okay.
So, I'll come out and see you when
All
we're
right.
done.
So you heard about the Arkansas farmer, didn't you, that went to Texas?
No.
Because there was a big farm expo there,
Uh-huh.
and he wanted to, he wanted to, they didn't have a very big farm.
Okay.
And he goes down there, and they said, "Well, everything's bigger in Texas, there, boy. You're gonna really like this." So he goes down there and he meets up with this big old cowboy in a 10-gallon hat, and he's just all full of himself, And he said, "You got a farm?" And Texas says, "Man, yeah, I got a farm." He says, "You got one?" The Arkansas boy says, "Yeah, I got a farm too. I got 200-300 acres up there in the North 40. And that's what I run." He says, "Man," the Texan says, "on my farm, it takes me 2 days to drive my truck from one edge of the property to the other." And the Arkansas guy says, "I got a truck like that too."
Need one of those trucks.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
I thought that was pretty good.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. I got a truck like that too. Sometimes you want to just take all day to get from one side to the other.
Yep. Well, we're smushing now, I can tell you.
Are you smushing?
Well, I'm trying to. Wanting to get some paint on some of this. And it's challenging. Like I said, it helps if I know what I was doing. But it's gonna be what it is,
Kevin's life motto is fake it till you make it. And look at him now. Except 70-something years of that. I think you can say you made it at this point. Oh, hey, I was mixing this up when Rourke came in. For those of you that have not been around long enough for Rourke, he worked here for about 6 years, probably about 6 years ago. And he was our shop manager for a long time. And then he moved down to Alabama for whatever reason. He thought that would be a good idea. And then he ended up going back home up to St. Louis. So now he works for good old Herman Oak. Because where else are you going to go when you work with leather for 6 years and there's a tannery that you could work at? So now he does that.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
One of my favorites. All right, it's a little less gloopy if you wanted some more dark blue.
Well, the thing that bothers me is trying to cover all these matting tool marks. I want to get the stuff down in there so that it covers the leather, and that's just really hard.
Did you go too wild with your mat? Or-
I might have. I'm not sure exactly, but anyway, it's gonna work one way or the other.
Omar, you might have missed that right in the beginning. I did ask Kevin if he wanted to antique this because I was like, well, if this is the last day, that might be something. But we could still do it maybe the beginning of next week after everything cures. We could spray a good finish on it. But he didn't know if he wanted to antique it yet. What will help you make that decision?
Well, I guess seeing it when I think it's sort of kind of done.
Okay.
Or it's gonna get done at
Look at
some.
that sky. She come along.
Ooh, boy, did I get white on that.
I feel like we should take a picture of all of Kevin's paint boards when we're done. I still have the other side of this one, and then the other one's in the trash. This is what all your Amazon cardboard is useful for. Or your yellow tape boxes. I use mine to dry my hydro dipping panels. So every time I'm going to do some dipping, I'll go downstairs to our little recycle bin and I'll pull out whatever box size I need that's been sitting in there, and that's what I use to dry my panels. It works quite well.
Well, we're sort of getting there.
Omar says, I don't think you need to antique it. It's perfect. I don't know if we told you, Omar is in Algeria.
Wow.
And December of last year when we did our giveaway, he won something, and we sent him trading cards from both you and Kevin, and he was very, very excited to get them. So, and a shirt. So now he has an SLC shirt in Algeria.
Wow.
With a Kevin and Denny trading card.
We're world famous, huh?
We are.
Well, that's kind of neat.
I think so. He likes to have his beer and watch us at dinner time, because that's what time it is there right now. Or maybe after dinner. Is it after dinner or during dinner, Omar? I think you're getting there. I think you're filling in the mat. I think the mat looks good.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be overly, horribly picky here, because that's what I can be. And I don't want to do that if I can help it. So anyway, we'll get some sky marks in, and then we're gonna.
As you do this part, you really do prefer your brush to be pretty darn dry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't want gloopy paint on there.
Oh no, gloopy is.
We don't. We don't like gloopy.
No, not at all.
Sunset. It's sunset in Algeria. I bet you guys got some pretty ones.
So. I think really we should have some more of that. It's so darned hard not having happy little brushes that I would prefer.
I tried.
Hey, you did good.
What would be your ideal brush for this? Gotcha. A baby chisel.
Yeah. But it is what it is. It is what it's going to be. So we'll get by.
feel like where I want the antique the most in this is around those mountains and the sky.
Yeah.
The juxtaposition.
Yep.
Not, yeah. But maybe you could just accomplish that with paint.
Well, you can if you're patient. Mm-hmm. And we've been over that before. And the antique does serve a blending purpose, which is kind of nice, you know.
Well, and especially because you don't have a flat surface anymore because you've carved it. So I feel like that just kind of makes things a little bit more difficult on you to try to
Well, it does.
poke your paint down in all the spots where you want it to get, where antique, that's what its whole job is.
Yep. So,
Holy shit.
yeah, keeping the brush line straight is kind of important, halfway, sort of, pretty much.
Going horizontal.
At least reasonably straight, yeah.
Is that because light comes in horizontally?
I have
Is that... 'Cause-
no earthly idea.
Somebody out there with your art degree, tell us why everything... I mean, I just assume it's like the horizon. Everything kind of sets off of this line that we see. You have the line of the earth, and you have the light that comes across. Just like why you keep all your lines horizontal when you're painting. You just blew myrrh out of the water. He says, holy smokes, that's wild.
Well,
What are we talking about? Buttered sausage.
He did a poll if we should antique it or not. And one of the answers was
Buttered sausage.
Buttered sausage.
Uh,
It's a Gary Busey video. It's hilarious.
maybe not quite so vertical.
what's that?
You.
Oh,
You're getting
Sorry.
a little vertical. Man, I feel like if you make this top, you leave it dark, I feel like the sun is just about ready to pop out from behind those mountains.
I really wanted to do a sunset. Mm-hmm. But there, you know, it's been too long since I've done that.
Ooh.
And the only it's pretty easy to do on canvas. It's really quite easy to do because you can just take a big brush like this and you can blend everything. Mm-hmm. Blend this don't blend. Not like
Not like he wants it to.
Yeah. So anyway, we're just getting there, and
That would be pretty. Get some purples and some pinks and some oranges in there.
well, and some of the folks that do this are going to discover that, hey, they're kind of good at this. They're going to figure out, you know, what they can do, and they'll be the ones that'll take that little extra time and make things just wonderful. Mm-hmm. Whereas I might take this on as a project at home and do it over a long period of time maybe, but that's about it. Work on a little here and a little there, and hurry up, dry.
Drive too fast. Drive too slow.
Yep. Anyway, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Getting some differentiation in there without looking like it's painted lines, you know. That's the hard part. That's just the hard part. Because you don't have much time to smush.
Mm-hmm. Kevin likes his oils because they smush forever.
Well, for a long time. But it also takes those paintings, a week to dry.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks.
All right, lay it down. Thanks. It's very, very dramatic. Look at that. See, look, when you look at it up there, I feel like you're getting your 4 feet of depth that you need
Yeah.
for it to look correct.
And let's see. We'll try and put, I don't know if that's going to work or not, but. Some of it works.
To the bottle, the cap always has some paint in it, so you're not like dipping your brush down into the bottle and loading it up because you're just gonna knock it off again. You just need little bits. Chevy says that I need to take this to Sheridan too.
I would be ashamed.
Maybe next year.
There's-
Maybe we'll do what Denny did with the saddle, and Kevin can just paint for a full day or a week or something. I don't know,
Probably not going to work out.
or not. Just nix that idea just right now. You said you wanted this was giving you inspiration to do a good one.
It really does. Makes me want to do something that's pretty nice. But, I also know it's really hard to find the time to do something that I want to do.
I hear that.
So, I really should walk the dogs. They deserve that. Because I'm just not home all that often. And, Becky and I are busy.
You guys are very busy.
Okay, getting there. Want any more weird colors?
I don't know. I got a turquoise.
I really need more white, I think,
In the sky, in the water, on the mountains,
Yeah, I think so, but
all the
it's
places.
just,
Now, so on the mountains, we do have a lot of leather still coming through your
yeah,
color here. And it looks like earth. Like it could be mixed like rocks and earth and that kind of a situation.
I'm just okay with it.
Okay.
So,
It's the correct look. It's
well, no, I don't know about
just
that,
kidding.
but I'm okay with it. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Garrett is confused. He thinks this is a pretty good one.
Well, it's okay.
Kevin's not a perfectionist as a perfectionist.
Yeah, this kind of proves that, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I really do think I'd like some brighter colors in some of this area, but
You got yourself a little
a little
glop.
goober.
Goober. A little booger. A little paint booger.
Just got to be careful wiping that stuff because you leave marks that just look weird. Well, that's getting a little bit of light up there. And
Trying to get in those little cracks. I
Yeah.
almost wonder, what if you antiqued it with a white? What if you mixed white paint with the neutral antique and attempted to do that?
I don't know. Might work.
Because then instead of darkening all your spots, you would be putting light
Yeah.
in places. I'm just curious. If anybody out there wants to do something and then antique with white paint. Well, because there's also the new Angelus, they make their own version of a gum trag now that you can mix the paint with and then use it as an antique.
Yeah.
I wonder how that would work.
Well, probably okay. But I don't know.
Chevy said, you are like the grandma that doesn't want to share her world-famous chocolate chip cookie recipe. She'll show you how to make a cookie, just not the best one.
That's funny. Well, I've done enough stuff to this, I think. What do you think?
What do you think about your little island back here? Your little inlet?
It's got a lot of room for improvement when you think about that.
It does kind of look like a sandy beach mixed in with some grass.
Well, that's kind of what it was supposed to be.
Perfect. Look at that. You did the job.
Sandy beach with green. And I could put some little twiddles
Of yellow. That's where that sentence ended.
Yeah, well,
I
my
think your
yellow's
yellow
all
is
dried
dry.
Let's see, maybe, maybe some yellow and orange.
Boop.
Thank you.
Ooh, yeah. Kind of right there beneath the tree line.
Kind of hard to see, ain't it? It dries and it kind of goes away. And that's one thing about the acrylics. There's a certain amount of experimentation that goes with it.
I think, though, if you do your due diligence of keeping a decently dry brush as you go through and just adding light color at a time, you have a lot of room to kind of recreate that same spot a few times as you go through.
It's true. And when in doubt, blot. Orange. I like bright colors in the floors, the ground.
Mm-hmm. Man, just, what was it, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, as the rain had kind of started for spring, and all of those purple flowers popped up just in every field, and I was driving out through Republic, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you would just look out, and it was just, the grass had started to turn green a little bit, but man, those little purple flower heads, whatever those are called, just the whole field, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those are cool too.
Garrett wants to know, how much does a just okay one cost? I don't know, guys. I don't get to, Kevin doesn't do things very often, and so at this point in time, I think I'm going to be pretty selfish about things and be like, I'm going to hang this one up in here for a while. We've got the rose that you did in the office.
Yeah.
It's hanging up in there.
Well, really, you can go on and do little stuff to this forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And it probably gets nicer and nicer and nicer as you do it. At least I think. And I would like to do some of those little, maybe I'll try a couple of those since we got a minute.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I like having the little taller, more definitive brush.
Mm-hmm.
As in sticks and stones and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But it's hard to do on this because the oil, you can scrape it.
Right.
This you really can't scrape. So you're stuck with painting. And that can be hard.
Just a fine little chisel point.
Yeah. And it's kind of challenging.
Oop.
Let's see.
Now it needs a super pokey one.
And I need dry paint.
We need dry paint.
Here, talk at it a while. That'll dry it.
Oh, goodness.
Hot air does wonders.
Sure does.
Put some water on that yellow. That gives me yellow.
You know, I could just take this and put it on a little stand at our table. Could be nice. And then people that are out at Sheridan could look at it real closely and see everything that you've done wrong.
Yeah, enough of them to see. Well,
Those are cute.
yeah. Anyway, you know, it's good enough.
You feel good about it?
I feel good enough about it. No,
It's good.
it's okay.
It's good.
I'm with it. I'm with you on that. I like to think that I could do a better picture. I know I could do a better picture, but
Like this one.
when it's like this, it's harder.
Yep.
So anyway, that's gonna work. As far as antiquing it, I don't know, man. Anytime you put antique over something like that,
Well, let's just real fast. If somebody did want to antique this, what would be the steps that you take? That way they have just a little bit of information.
well, I don't know if there's so much steps. I mean, you have to put a finish on it first. You gotta
Okay.
put a good finish on there, and putting a finish over acrylic paint is a little iffy to start with. So it's pretty much.
If you were going to use one, what finish would you use?
You know, I want to think about that because if you're going to put a finish over acrylic, it really needs to be acrylic.
Okay.
And
So like one of the Angelus's finishes, because they make three different gloss versions. They've got a matte, a semi, and then a high gloss. And you can spray. You could put them in an airbrush and you could spray them.
yeah, I might want to put whatever I felt was the strongest, most powerful resist
What about Sadillac?
finish. No,
No,
that would be bad.
because that's a lacquer,
Yeah.
not an acrylic.
And it seems to me like there's a couple of resists that are made out there. Phoebing's makes one. It doesn't-
RTC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That RTC might be the one I would try.
I like it, and Denny's also been using some of the RTC, and he puts it in that little cordless airbrush that we had carried for a little bit, and we might be out of stock of them right now, but I know they pop up here and there. But that's a nice little airbrush, and it would work. You could put your RTC resist in it and then spray it on.
Part of the West, they use resin over acrylic paint.
Oh, Heart of the West uses a Resolene over.
Putting you can't do Resolene.
No?
No, that does not work.
Okay.
Not on this. I've done that. It's bad.
What happens when you use the Resolene?
You wipe the paint off.
Oh. What if you airbrushed it?
I don't think that's going to be happy.
Okay.
I don't know that for sure, but I just don't think it's going to be happy, so I wouldn't be doing it. But the resist, I guess if you sprayed it on there, really light coats from kind of far away, and then sprayed it again and again and again maybe. At that point, I probably wouldn't mind putting some antique on there, because when you put an antique on something like that, it's kind of sort of halfway important that it get down into stuff.
You're going to have to scrub it pretty good.
Well, you're going to have to push on it, and that's going to just totally kill your subtle colors.
Your highlights.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, especially because a lot of your highlights are in the cracks.
Yeah.
So you would be pretty specific. I feel like, like maybe around the tree ridge and these different places.
Those places would be okay.
Would be good. Maybe at the crest of your mountains.
And see,
but yeah, here you're going to really want to maybe just use your shearling and get it back out.
In reality, if I was going to make this something that I really could feel better about, I would be taking a brush like that chisel brush, and I would be, well, I'll show you. I think I'll show you. Maybe I'll show you. I would be taking the appropriate colors, and let's see if I can, what have I got here for color on this brush? I would be working that into places like this.
Okay.
I would be completely getting some kind of color in there, and there's not right now, as you can see. I would be getting something into all of that area, just every single bit, and even if it's nothing but watered down black, getting it into all of those areas. And the same with this tree line. You can actually, you would be able to pull tiny hairs of color up. And it's those little things that make such a big difference that are missing here.
Gotcha.
And so, again, like this area on this tree over here, you need to be getting into those areas and coloring all that. And what you're doing is you're getting definition without defining.
Right.
Maybe, is that a good way to put it?
I feel it's kind of like a manual antique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the mountains. There's a lot of work that could be done better or different on the mountains to give them more of a distinct, sharper appearance.
Yeah.
But, I could do this for the next 3 weeks for an hour at a time. and I don't
Sold.
want to. So anyway.
All right.
We're going to call that good. And I don't know what the antique would do. Maybe we could call this an experiment and we could actually try it. Worst it could do is what? Make it look not so happy?
I guess that is true. That's the worst. Well, we'll think about that next week. If we decide to do something, we'll video it as it happens or afterwards.
Sounds like a winner. I think I'm getting ready for lunch.
That sounds good. Garrett says we could watch you for the next 3 weeks for an hour at a time.
No, I don't know.
I also agree, guys. All right, Kevin. Well, I appreciate you.
It's been fun.
It has been fun.
And I really appreciate you being here, egging me on.
It's my whole job. Alrighty, folks. Well, next week, Denny and I will be back doing something. Frankly, I'm not sure. Maybe a stirrup clock. I know he has a stirrup over there that we've been doing something, and that is the next thing on the schedule, but I will have to follow up with him and see if that's actually what we're going to do, or if we're going to switch it up a little bit now that we have finished here with our lovely, lovely painting. So, yep, Chevy, it is Colvert's time.
It is.
He even spelled it appropriately.
Wow. Huh.
So I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.